So today is October the 9th, 2024, and I want to express to you the energy that I'm feeling and what's happening. And this is probably going to shock you because it's shocking me. So I'm going to share it with you too. Right now, so many of us are going through the transformation of becoming our divine higher self, which means we're looking around and we're seeing everything that we have outgrown. We're seeing everything that no longer fits. We're seeing it could even show up as physical, material things, relationships, just things don't fit quite the way they used to. And you can see it. You're outgrowing stuff, right? And it's kind of like when you outgrow clothes and they get uncomfortable. And that's how you know that you're outgrowing it. You get uncomfortable. All growth happens outside of the comfort zone. So the discomfort that we're feeling is really our divine higher self making a phone call to us, letting us know it's time to come up higher. It's time to release what is heavy, learn how to release what is heavy to come up higher. This challenge is being presented to us so that we begin creating our lives and making our decisions from a multi-dimensional, expanded aspects of ourselves that's rooted in love, instead of being motivated by fear. The thing that humanity is doing right now, we're being challenged to see the divine in everything. Just sit with that for a moment. Like, it really does not serve us to only fixate on the negative things in what we're perceiving, because that creates a feedback, and that feedback is like backwash, right? So you're being purified, but then you're getting backwash at the same time. So the goal is to be able to slow down and see the divinity in anything that makes you uncomfortable. And the capacity to see divinity in something that makes you uncomfortable is the frequency of love. We can't really see love. It's not tangible. We can't really grab it and hold on to it, yet it's so visceral. And we feel so alive when we're connecting with love. So if you're waiting on life to show you experiences that you think reflect what love is to feel good, you're never gonna feel good. Instead of waiting on life to bring you something that make you feel love, you begin to become love. Instead of hoping to be the one that's getting the supply of it, you're becoming it. I'm becoming love. For a lot of us, that means that we're pulling away from things that we do to earn money to find what is more resonant of love, what lights me up, what brings me love. Whereas in the past on the old earth, the focus was what's going to bring me the money, what's going to bring me the money. And a lot of us made decisions and based our careers and where we went to school based on what was going to bring us money, because our focus was survival on the old earth. This is trained within our lower chakras, the root chakra, survival. This is where the wounded inner child lives. And then you have the sacral chakra right above it, below your navel. And this chakra is your creativity. And so because of the backwash from living in survival for so long, a lot of the creativity that we have is actually creating problems. It's actually creating issues in our life. We're so creative, right? Anxiety is creativity, right? I'm going to create a problem that hasn't happened yet, and then I'm going to allow myself to feel an emotion as a result of me creating this problem in my mind that hasn't happened. So you're using your creativity to create a problem, and it's showing up emotionally as anxiety, in the body. Everything that we think about creates a vibrational frequency, and that vibrational frequency is the energy in motion, and we feel it as an emotion. A lot of us may be feeling like this is even a profound conversation to be having, and you're comparing it to other conversations, and none of you are able to see what a higher frequency conversation feels like. This is what we're being trained to learn to do. Because the planet right now is going to get really dark, because Mama Earth is doing shadow work like on a massive level. So she's bringing so much stuff that's been hidden out. And as she's bringing what's been hidden out, we're going to see more darkness. And it's like, oh, it's the end of the world. Everything is ending. This is look at all of this chaos. Look at all this terrible stuff happening. If you get locked in there, you then become the backwash of the shadow work that Mama Earth is doing, but you're actually meant to be here to be a cycle breaker. So now you're participating in the simulated reality by allowing your attention to be drawn to the negative. And so what happens is, once that happens, then naturally your attention is drawn to the negative, because you're trying to keep yourself safe. In personal development, they would call this hypervigilant. So I'm always tethered. I'm always scanning my environment for any potential threats, because this is how I learned to keep myself safe. We're being called into a new level of safety. We're being called to reevaluate what security really is, because maybe what we value as security no longer fits into what we're experiencing right now as who we are right now. Right? This is the growth. So can we practice healing the world by healing the internal conversations within us, so that we can become projectors and project out this beam of love vibrational energy, because we're cultivating it inside of us. We don't need external supplies anymore. We're reassuring ourselves we don't need external reassurance anymore. We're learning how to be less codependent. We've been programmed to be codependent. And this can feel scary to a lot of us, because the way that we learn to create safety and security as children, it's time for us to outgrow that. So the goal is to step outside of time and space, to start viewing your past with a more optimistic perception, with a more divine perception, looking at the past. And even though there are emotions that may be attached to events in the past that still bother us, even though we may be tender around something, just to start working on that tender area, to working it out to heal by looking at it and saying, but this was a part of my story. This was a part of my stepping stone for me to become who I am today. And even though that may have hurt, it was useful, it was essential, and it brought me to this point today. If you start to practice the power of perception with the intent of turning painful experiences into something purposeful, you're not going to know all the answers immediately, but you start to unravel. It's like a onion, and you start to peel the layers back, where you can get to the morsel. You can get to that inner part. The atom is like what creates matter, right? So get into the inner part. This is where all the data is. This is where the power is. The source energy is stored, by being able to get to the center, making it to the center. What does it take for me to make it to the center, for me to feel centered, for me to feel grounded? Can I take on new ways of healing my nervous system and feeling grounded? Maybe I'm outgrowing some of my coping mechanisms. And for some of us, that could be relationships with people, where it feels different. You don't have the same conversations. You're not really into the same things anymore. The conversation just feel different, and you notice something is different. And maybe you've been friends for 20 years, and all of a sudden you feel a shift in energy. To honor that and to not have to force anything. we got in trouble when we stopped being able to see divinity in each other. And so it's manifesting outside of us too. And like everywhere I look, it's something negative. And when you feel that way and you think that way, depending on how much you practice that vibration, then that's the backwash that comes back into your reality, right? So the goal is to not feed that beast, to not feed that energy, and to pull it back, shift your attention. So, you know, I wanted to do this message today to explain this energy because I felt really strongly led to do so, and I'm in between timelines today. And the galactic signature energy of today was this timelessness. So I wanted to explain the work and the energy that we're being called to, and just to continue to be open, okay? We're still learning, you know, we're still learning. We don't have all the answers, and that's okay, but just to be open, okay? So hopefully, you know, some of y'all will go to the Patreon. There's so much there over the years, but I tap into this Akashic energy and pull out these solutions, and this is my soul that actually draws this in for me to share this. And so hopefully this conversation fed your soul. I know that it did. I don't have to hope, because I know that it did, because you wouldn't be here if it didn't. And this energy is sacred. Take it and work with this energy. Come back to this video if you need to. Very soon I am going to be making an announcement, because I'm getting so close to having the comprehensive spiritual ascension, relationship healing, trauma reprogramming, past life healing. Like, it's so much available to us, and sometimes we just need it like in a package, so I can just like know what I'm supposed to be doing each day, because so many people are offering so many solutions, and it can be hard to know what to give your attention to. So I understand that, and I'm hoping to meet that need and to be able to do it, and you not have to have a whole lot of time to do it, because I'm a time-strapped individual. I don't have a lot of time. So I'm learning how to use the energy source known as time. And so yeah, I have to treat it as sacred, and I am channeling that information into a course that I'm going to be announcing really soon. So stick with me. Thank you. And be sure to let me know what your biggest takeaway was. I would love to continue this conversation, because without the conversations, we can't really have the manifestation, because we're not creating a vibration. Yeah.